Lexi, and I really love tabletop games. I love them so much that I sit down and we review one together here at the gaming table once a week, every week. If that sounds interesting to you, I encourage you to press subscribe and keep watching. I try to keep these videos under 10 minutes so we can both quickly find our next game. If you would like to go the extra mile for this channel, you can donate to my Ko-Fi page, which I've linked in the description below. The donations go straight back into the running costs of the channel, so it is always greatly appreciated. Today, I'm very privileged to be reviewing a game that was sent to me. Not only is this helpful as I've been provided a game to review on this channel, but often when people send me their games, it means I get to review games I perhaps wouldn't have had the chance to otherwise. Today I am having a look at a game which was sent to me by Caradoc Games. I've reviewed a couple of their games in the past, and so I'm really happy to be reviewing another one of their games again. Thank you so much. If you have a game that you've made and you want to see it here on the gaming table, the best way to reach out to me is via the email address in the description box below. I will admit I do have a bit of a delay in between receiving games and getting the review on my channel. That is just because of how many games I'm sent. Please feel free to reach out to me though, we can always see what we can do. I mentioned that this is not the first game from Caradoc Games that I have reviewed. I've previously taken a look at Prisoners of the Elf King and Owlbear Omelette. You should definitely go to my channel and check out those reviews if you are interested in finding them. Today, we are taking a look at Foundlings by Giles Pritchard. This game is set in a world where once upon a time everyone lived in harmony with nature. There was a large forest that people lived in. Over the years though, the forest that the people lived amongst grew dark and corrupt. Now it's completely hostile to people. This change has in turn made the world more cold and isolated. Characters within this game are known as Foundlings. You don't get given a set village to start off in, rather you create the village as part of the creation process of the game. This home is referred to in the game manual as a settlement. To build your settlement, you're given tables to roll on to shape what kind of place it is. I think one of the most telling tables in this section is about how your settlement relates to other settlements nearby. The way that the numbers are spaced on this table indicates to me that it's most likely that your settlement is going to be wary of strangers. The manual does provide you with a couple of plot hooks that a group of players could pursue. I mean, of course, the biggest mystery is why has the forest gone corrupt and is now hostile to the settlements? What changed in that relationship? Of course, there are the more day-to-day issues that might be keeping your characters busy, while that larger mystery cooks in the background. If you're not sure where to begin with this game for a story, the manual does actually provide a short adventure to get you started. Foundlings is played using 3 pools of D10s. It's suggested you differentiate the pools of D10s by having each of the pools use different symbols or be different colours or perhaps different sized D10s. Just as long as you can sort of easily see what you're rolling. The first 2 pools are positive dice. They're to help your player characters, your foundlings, achieve what they want to do. The first 2 pools are known as your focus and fire die. Generally, when you're rolling these 2, they're referred to as your attitude dice. The third pool is the difficulty dice, and that will demonstrate how hard the challenge is for the foundling. The game master will just direct the players when to roll and perhaps help them decide what size the pools should be. To build your foundling, you start off by choosing a path. This is what your foundling is good at. There are keepers, which are your warriors, your mystics who use magic. There's pathfinders who are great at navigating the world around them, and scavengers who are great at fixing and breaking and remaking things. Each of these paths will influence what kind of attitudes your characters have and what values they are drawn to. Your attitude and values are going to be what your character is good at. When a player evokes an attitude or a value, that can provide more dice to a particular role in the game. Though, potentially, if that value or attitude is going to get in the way, it could potentially hinder that role. Each of the paths in the manual come with a selection of special abilities only available to those paths. These aren't always super straightforward. It's not always just add more dice or add a bonus to a roll. In the game, it might be that your character happens to know the right people and have right connections, or they might be more familiar with a particular subject. Some of these abilities you'll definitely have to do a bit of interpretation in terms of what is going to be the reasonable mechanical effect on the game, but I definitely think they're still pretty clear. For a short little zine game, there are plenty of mechanics about combat for you to sink your teeth into. There's details for what effect armor, shields, injuries, and recovery times can have on your foundling. Gear, as well, can undergo some form of damage, and potentially your foundling, based on what they're good at, might be able to repair or scavenge something better for them to use. For a short game, I think that's a pretty impressive variety of mechanics. While there aren't pages and pages of mechanics about what you can do in a battle, there's a couple of things to give the game a bit more of a flavour. This is a pretty packed game for under 50 pages. I think there's plenty to explore in this game. Enough material for a campaign or more. I also found this game pretty clear and easy to understand. The mechanics are still pretty light. I really appreciate that this manual chose to have a page just explaining the rule fundamentals. For me, having a fundamentals page is really helpful to me to understand how a game works, and it's a great reference to flick to when you're playing the game if you're not sure about what you should be doing. It also made understanding the different character options a lot easier, and it made it more obvious when the mechanics were deliberately departing from those fundamentals. If you are interested in a game about hostility and harmony, then this could be a really fascinating little game to pick up. While this game absolutely has fantastical elements, there's something there for players who enjoy more grounded role-playing, especially the stuff about injury and gear repair. A copy of Foundlings is only $12. There are options for a digital copy if that is going to be easier for you. I think with the size that it is, you could use it as a PDF pretty easily, or print out a small copy at home if you don't have access to a printed copy. I really like Foundlings. I really liked the setting. A world where people have become disconnected and somehow turned against nature was a really interesting choice to me. It reminded me a little bit of the Studio Ghibli film Nausicaa, Valley of the Wind, and that one was always a fascinating watch for me. But what did you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. While you're there, I encourage you to like this video and perhaps even share it with a friend who you think might find it interesting. If you'd like to find out when I've next uploaded, you can subscribe and turn on notifications. If you would like to see your game on the gaming table, please reach out to me using the email address in the description below. If you'd really like to go the extra mile for the gaming table, you can donate to my Ko-Fi page, which I've linked in the description box. All donations go straight back into the running costs of the channel, and it's always greatly appreciated. I want to thank you all for watching this video and sharing your thoughts on Foundlings. I hope you're all well, and I'll see you next time at the gaming table. Bye!